Can you please tell us a little about yourselves?
Hi, I'm Patton, and I am part of the leadership team here with the Illinois Neurodiversity Initiative at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign.
My name is Jeanne Kramer, and I'm part of the leadership team as well. University of Illinois Neurodiversity Initiative, and from here on out, we'll be calling ourselves INI.
Can you please tell us about the University of Illinois and the surrounding community?
So the University of Illinois is in two cities here in central Illinois, Urbana and Champaign, and we have about 35,000 plus undergraduate students and about 20,000 graduate students. We have 150 majors across 11 academic communities, and we have a very wide variety of students. We have a very large international cohort of students here on campus. Yeah, we're a Big Ten school, so we have a lot of sports and other things that are something that a lot of students engage in here too. But we're a very well-known research institution, and again, we're located in the cities of Champaign and Urbana, so they're more, we're not like from a huge city area, but it is a somewhat more urban area, and it's kind of nice having two different towns, so there's a little bit different vibes in each town. The Urbana side has more like it's a very greener, like there's a lot of trees and things, and then we have a lot of historic buildings on campus, and there's a lot of random things that students can engage in throughout the city to have fun when they're not on campus as well.
Can you please tell us more about the Illinois Neurodiversity Initiative, or INI?
INI is a program of supports for neurodivergent students here at the University of Illinois. We work with students who are accepted to the university on their own academic merit. We support students throughout their 4 years, or however many years they're here at the university, but we support them every year that they're here. And we focus on 4 primary areas, being future employment, mental health, academics, and social connection. Our primary goal in our program is that our students maintain mental health while they are succeeding academically, feeling connected to community at the university, and are eventually able to fulfill their desires for after they graduate, hopefully with a job or graduate school. As far as a philosophy goes, we really are a social model of understanding neurodiversity, in that we try to emphasize a strength-based approach to everything that we do. We spend a lot of time helping students discover who they are as a neurodivergent individual and how that affects their strengths and their challenges. We spend a lot of time helping students learn how to advocate for themselves in a world that isn't necessarily designed for neurodivergent individuals. Our approach, I think, is somewhat unique in that we are housed within the Department of Human Development and Family Studies, which means we can run classes. And so every semester, the students enroll in a credit-bearing class. Usually they're between 1 and 2 credits, and they learn about different aspects of what we're trying to accomplish in the program in a setting where we're able to teach them in a structured way, assess their learning of that topic area or material, and hold them somewhat accountable to developing this aspect of their life. We're a very kind of tight-knit community and family atmosphere here where leadership is available to students at any time. We have students who come and visit us for all sorts of personal, professional, and academic needs. But then also we foster community with the students among themselves. We don't put any curriculum necessarily on their social connection. We have a dinner every Wednesday night where they're able to be with one another and develop close relationships with people who are similar to who they are.
What can you tell us about the students in the INI program?
Currently, we have about 50 students in our program, and we've been building every year. This is the fourth year that our program has been around, so we continually add new cohorts, and our program grows usually every year. So next year we will likely, have more students that are joining us. And the majority of students in our program live on campus in in campus housing or dorms and apartments, things like that. We do have a few commuter students. The students who are members of INI identify as being neurodivergent. We don't require a diagnosis in order to be a part of our program, but we do have an application process, and we ask students to identify how their neurodiversity impacts them, and to help make sure that the services that we provide and the needs that they have will be a good fit for each other. After they complete the application, we have students and they answer a variety of different questions, and we ask them about their what kinds of needs that they anticipate having in college, what are their academic support needs and things of that nature. We usually do interviews with students after the application process to again ensure that everything that we're presenting, what we're talking about with our program aligns with what they believe that they need. And then we will reach out and let them know soon after that if they have been admitted into the program. And then usually the students that are applying and the people that we're looking for are people that, again, they identify as being neurodivergent, and there are people that are looking for the supports that we offer, whether they need help with academic support and their executive function skills or things of that nature, or are looking for mental health support to be able to stay mentally healthy throughout their time in college. Students who are wanting to build that social community with other neurodivergent peers, and students who are really looking for employment opportunities and information about how to better find opportunities that are looking maybe for neurodivergent employees and things like that. We don't have a set student or a type that necessarily, we have a very wide variety of students that are a part of our program. We serve students across all majors on campus. It's definitely something, if students feel like this is something for them, it's very likely that we will, have that they will be a good fit with our program.
Can you tell us more about the supports you provide INI students?
To go a little deeper into exactly what our supports look like, thinking about academic supports, we start the students off with a class that is teaching them about executive functioning in general, and then how it applies to themselves. In this class, there's a lot of self-discovery as far as understanding exactly how the student's own brain works. And then they do a lot of sharing with one another to understand that there are other people out there who might be experiencing similar things or challenges to learning and expressing their learning. So that's the first step in building a successful student academically. We provide study halls almost every day of the week at different times so that we can accommodate the different schedules that our students keep. That's a supported study hall where There's someone from the leadership team in the room with them. We help them check their email. We help them with the executive function part of getting assignments done, and then they're also held accountable in that time. We don't provide direct subject related tutoring. However, we have a very strong connection with tutoring centers across the campus, especially in the STEM areas. So that's another arm of the academic supports. And then the last thing I would say that we do is, as students need it, we will meet with them independently each week for executive function coaching and support, where we're going through each class and seeing if they are keeping on top of assignments, where they're running into difficulty. We help them understand how they can use their academic accommodations to make them successful. And then we also help them indirectly support them in getting in touch with professors and asking for what they need. So we're able to go from them needing a lot of help to them being more independent in advocating for themselves in that arena. The second area that I want to go a little bit more deeply into is our mental health supports. We have a team of mental health professionals that are just for the I&I program, and all of our students have available to them up to an hour a week of mental health counseling. We work very closely with the Department of Psychology and have one of the professors there, a doctor in psychology, who oversees master's level graduate psychology students who work with our students. And then we also have an LSW on staff at I&I who works directly with our students. So I think that's a unique thing that we keep track of. The students who are receiving mental health supports at home are able to keep their home therapist, and we have them fill out a questionnaire a few times a semester just so that we continually are keeping track of the mental health of our students.
Are there other types of supports you provide?
And to kind of talk a little bit more about some of the other areas with like our social connections that we try to provide with students. Every Wednesday night we provide a dinner, like we cater a dinner and have students. This is kind of the one time of the week that students from all the different cohorts can come together. We do a variety of different activities throughout the semester that just kind of build that community time for them, and it's very student driven with things that they're interested in doing or have put in desires for. Like we did a Share Your Talent night earlier this semester. We're doing a PowerPoint presentation later in the semester. We just we play board games, we do different things, and it's just a way for students to really connect with each other. Some of the students talk about it as like their kind of family away from home time, where they every Wednesday they know they can kind of come and have a nice dinner that they don't have to pay for or make themselves, and it just gives them that opportunity to really just kind of have a fun time with other people that they know that they can be truly themselves with. In terms of employment supports, again, when Jeanne mentioned the classes that we provide for students, we also have some classes related specifically to employment and trying to help build connections to different corporations and places that are focused on neurodivergent hiring initiatives. And we also are, trying to help promote internships and build opportunities for our students. We have a course that is focused on internship preparation, and so part of the course they have to complete an 8-week internship that they can either find on their own if there's something like a professor or somewhere that they want to work, or they can do some internship opportunities within I&I. And so this is the first semester we're running that, but that's been something that I think is going to hopefully benefit students in getting some more experience and things to add to their resumes and help them to build some of those skills. And then, yeah, we try to help connect students with different internships whenever possible. And we've been fortunate the last 2 summers to be able to work with a corporation that's helping to offer specific internships for that we've partnered with for students in our program. They're paid internships, and but we also provide supports for students and whatever, if they need help with like resume building and or just finding job search sites, or getting connections, like how to use LinkedIn, things like that. So we go through a lot of these things in our courses, but then we also meet individually with students to provide additional supports depending on where they're at with their employment journey, and trying to make sure that when they leave here they have the skills that they need to be successful and find the desired employment that they want to do, or if they want to go to graduate school first, that they have those skills as well.
How involved are parents of I&I students?
The last thing probably to say about our program that I think makes us stand out and a little bit unique is that we include parents in our supports for students from the very beginning. We make an intentional effort to equip parents to promote independence in their students. So we are not directly communicating with parents about how students are doing. However, we meet with them a few times a semester and empower them with different topics that we talk about. We try to connect them with one another so that they feel like they have a network of people to talk to, with students at different stages in their academic career. And it really does help for students to feel like there's a clear distinction between their independence here on campus and how their parents are supporting them. We're really proud of that connection we have with parents. It helps us get to know the students better, and research shows that any college student does better with a strong support system at home. So we feel like we're supporting that.
What housing options are available to I&I students?
For housing, so our students, we don't have any specific housing options that are directly just for students in the program. All of the university housing, we have different living learning communities that are part of the university dorms that students can be a part of. So they might find like an interest that aligns with something, and then they can live with a group of people that also have that similar interest. We do provide early move-in for students who are living in the dorms, or certified private housing on campus, so that they can participate in an orientation event or events that we host, but also so that if they don't have to necessarily move in when all of the other students are moving in, and things like that. In the past, have also tried to provide, when we have the information available, like if students are seeking maybe a roommate from our program when they're trying to find roommates, we'll try to offer ways for them to connect ahead of time if they would like to look into that option. And we've had a lot of students who, as they've as they've aged up in the program, gotten to know each other, that chosen to live together after their first year or something like that. So it's something that they build those connections and then have more opportunities to find friends and people to live with in the future.
Any success stories you'd like to share?
So we're supposed to talk about success stories, and I think one thing that we're most impressed by in the last year is the study abroad program that we completed in January of 2026. Having the classes every semester, we're able to do a 16-week pre-travel class. So during that time, we were not only, the class is called Global Self-Advocacy. So we were talking about advocating for yourself in different cultures, understanding different cultures, cultural intelligence, but we were also preparing students to travel as a neurodivergent individual. There's the ADHD tax that we talk about, where just having different needs in different environments can you can be successful, but it takes a little bit of forethought. So how do you take care of your sensory needs as you're taking a long flight abroad or in an airport or in a busy city, making sure that if you have medical things that you might need to bring with you, to make sure you're packing well, packing to accommodate dietary restrictions or needs or preferences. We were really able to go through that in depth with them. And so we brought a really prepared group of 7 students to Italy, Rovereto, Italy, and had just the best time. And I think when we ask those students, in fact, we're doing student interviews right now to record just a little bit about the program, and the students who have recorded have listed that as their favorite experience in I&I. I think that we saw growth and development in their confidence, their self-confidence, even from the first day when we left on the trip till when we got home. And the biggest takeaway from that trip, I think, is the fact that they established during that trip a close-knit group of friends that they will probably be friends with for some time, as long as they choose to stay connected. They also have a really exciting college memory to reminisce about, to think back on. And for some of these students, I don't know that they would have gotten that opportunity otherwise. Kim, do you have anything you want to say about the trip?
Yeah, it was really great to get to see the students thrive, and we had them we were with them for obviously the whole trip, but there would be times where they'd go and navigate Italy and have to figure out how to get their needs met when people don't always speak English, and they did so well, and it was just really cool to get to see them come together as a group when they've known each other, they've been connected in a lot of ways, but it was just a really like Jeannie said, that the connections got so much stronger throughout the trip, and it was just a really great experience to witness and to be a part of, and to get to see the sights. We were in northern Italy, and it was just surrounded by mountains, very beautiful. Just getting to hear kind of their thoughts on the things that we were doing. I think it was really meaningful. One of the students had never even flown on an airplane before at all, and his first flight was a transatlantic flight for over 8 hours. It was a really special experience, and and this is something that we're planning to continue every year, so that this will hopefully be something that the students throughout our program in their upperclassmen years will get to participate in and be a part of.
Big thanks to Jeanne, Kim, and the I&I program at the University of Illinois. Please subscribe to Inclusive Academia.